Hi friends, how are you doing today? My name is Allison and I am the self-proclaimed priestess of Wonderland, and I am here today to talk to you about the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction that will be happening on April 12th. However, you have probably already started feeling this shift in energy, and we will continue to feel this shift in energy for the next couple weeks. And that's because, like, on April 12th, when it's in alignment, they're still going to be close together. So what we've been experiencing so far is Jupiter and Neptune coming together, and then on the 12th, they will be in alignment, and then they will like continue on their journey. So like we will slowly be feeling this until it's direct on April 12th, and then we will still continue to feel it until they continue further on their path and enter into another sign or whatever. So what this is a Jupiter and Neptune conjunction, meaning they are going to be conjoining together. The symbol of the conjunction is a circle with like a line through it. So it looks kind of like a chain link, because those energies will be like crossing paths. And so if you have the Just a Phase Moon Planner, I recommend checking in with the charts in the beginning, the keyword charts in the beginning of your planner, to kind of see what that means for you. Taking a look at your birth chart again, where we have the keyword sentences that we have on the opposite page. Mine's not filled in right now because I did them live, so I had them printed out on a separate piece of paper. So mine is blank, but you're going to want to be checking in with that and looking at Jupiter and Neptune for this energy shift and see what this means for you. So what you want to do is take a look at where your Jupiter and your Neptune are and what house they are living in. My Jupiter and Neptune is in Sagittarius and the 10th house. So they are both in the same sign and in the same house. Your chart might be different. You might have Jupiter in one sign and Neptune in the other. So for the sake of this video, what you want to do is figure out what those signs are for you and what element those signs are. For me, it's fire. For someone, yours might be fire and water, earth and air, earth and fire. It might be a combination of two different things. So if that's the case, there's going to be 4 element readings to follow. And so you're just going to pick the timestamp that corresponds to whatever element your Jupiter and Neptune are in. Just for example, we did, so the readings I did live on Twitch, and I've compiled them into, I tried to edit a little bit because like it is live, so there is some conversations between me and the people who were watching live in the chat. So I tried to edit out a lot of that and just kind of give you the reading information, but there is still some interaction between the people watching. So just so you know, this was recorded live. And for the live example, we were using my grandmother's chart, and just to use it as an example again, her Jupiter was in Libra and her Neptune was in Leo. So if your chart looked like that, you would be looking at Libra air and Leo fire. So you would watch both the air and the fire reading, and you would kind of combine those together, take what resonates with you, and see what shifts in energy or how this might be affecting you personally, considering where your Neptune and Jupiter were when you were born. So I hope that explains a little bit about what we're doing here. The overall energy when we're looking at the keywords that we use in the Just a Phase Moon Planner, Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion, and Neptune is the planet of subconscious energy, imagination, and dreams. So if we're taking growth and expansion and combining dreamy imagination, Neptune energy we're getting this growth and expansion of our dreams. So this is a time to be really dreaming big, thinking big, putting your intentions, especially on the 12th of what if you had everything that you needed to accomplish your dreams? If money wasn't an option, if time wasn't an option, if no matter what, like if you had everything in alignment and everything that you needed, what would your dream be? Your dream life, your dream job, your dream house, your dream car, your dream family, your dream relationship, whatever that is. And based on what sign you're in and what house your Jupiter and Neptune is in, is going to tell you where this energy is going to be taking place in your life. So again, look at your house keyword charts. If you don't have the Just a Phase Moon Planner, there's plenty of house charts out there where you can say, for example, my Jupiter and Neptune are in my 10th house, which is the house of career success and achievement. So this is a time for me to be really looking at how can I grow and expand my career to be exactly like how I envision and how I want it to be. I've got laundry going in the back. Sorry, I hope you can't hear that. But if for example, it was in your fourth, if Jupiter and Neptune are in your fourth house, this might be taking place involving things that involve home or family, your foundation. If it's happening in your seventh house, these are going to be things involving relationships. How do you want to grow and expand your relationships? What would your dream relationships look like? And this can be any relationship, romantic, family relationships, or it could be just a friendship or business partnership. So this is the time to grow and expand your dreams. Literally grow and expand your dreams. So think big and dream big. Let me know in the comments if the readings resonate with you. For me, the fire reading really hit home. So I'm going to be focusing on that reading. Again, you might be watching 2 of the readings and just kind of combine those energies together. I'm also going to have just kind of like general affirmations and overall the overall feeling for each element to help you get an idea about what you should be focusing on and setting intentions around for this huge energy shift in our some information. Jupiter and Neptune haven't been conjunct in Pisces since 1856, I think it was. And the last time we had, or one of the times that we had a big Jupiter-Neptune conjunction was when Disney World opened. And I just love that analogy of, like, Disney World literally is like the place of your dreams. How can you grow and expand your dreams? And Walt Disney created this whole imaginative world. I'm not sure what sign that was in, but the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction that we're having right now is in Pisces, and Pisces energy is watery, fluid, dreamy. It's ruled by Neptune, so this is a really nice place for Neptune to be, a really nice sign for Neptune to be in, and it also puts more emphasis on the dreamy, imaginative, subconscious part of it. So this is growing, expanding your spirituality as well with the Pisces energy. So again, let me know if you like or how these readings resonated with you. Please let me know, like and subscribe as always, and thank you so much. I hope you enjoy. So this is a collective message for people who have their Jupiter and Neptune in a fire sign. And if you need help figuring out what that means for you, let me know. And so the first card that we got here for the fire signs are the Chess Queen, Trust and Strategizing. I feel like we got this one recently in a reading before. So the Chess Queen has all the tools you need to aid you in your quest for a life of purpose, peace, and prosperity. I like this already because the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction is like all about growth, prosperity, and your purpose, like discovering like what your purpose is, or having what your purpose is coming to the surface, or just something, this energy is something that you can tap into to further along your purpose, to continue on your path, and that sort of thing. So when the Chess Queen arrives as your ally, you've been given the task of asking Spirit for a vision of your life. Ask also to know the right actions to ensure your part in the process is unfolding. Then, with a sense of trust, allow the strategy to be given unto you by the divine. Are your own goals and desires in alignment with the divine plan for your life? This is a reminder that there is your plan and then there is the divine plan. When you're in alignment with the latter, all manner of messages are delivered to your aid, or to aid you in taking the next right action for your life. The Chess Queen says that you will win this game as long as you let Spirit choose your moves. Follow your bliss and the inspired messages delivered by your soul. You cannot lose when you enter the realm of the Chess Queen, and she appears as your ally. Wow, so this is already kind of starting to feel kind of crazy. Maybe like with this energy of resting and replenishing is really about like going deep within and weeding out the things that aren't serving you. And it sounds like you will know that whether or not something's right for you if I lost my train of thought. You'll know when you're in alignment when all manner of messages are delivered to aid you. So like if you're asking for help and you're asking for guidance and you're asking for signs and you're not receiving it, that's probably a sign that you're like not on the right track, that like you need to shift. Maybe that's what this replenishment is, like trying to figure out like what exactly, which direction you should. The most selfless thing you can do is to fill your own inner well. When we are running around half filled, we subconsciously look to things and people around us to give us the nourishment and nurturing that we so deeply crave. Nothing can grow in barren lands. You are no good to anyone if you're running on empty. The feminine is bountiful, fertile, and rich. Tend to your own well and watch as the amount you have to give multiplies. If your inner well isn't full, you will find yourself craving things from the outside world to fill it. This is this is our body's instinctive way of reaching for the ground and nurturing that we are not allowing ourselves. What nourishes you? What refuels your body? What is nectar for your soul? What brings you back to this life? What is your secret medicine? What makes you feel abundant or fertile? Overspilling with life. It may be gardening, arranging flowers, getting a massage, using luxurious essential oils, snuggling up on the couch, hiking, sipping a good coffee at your favorite cafe, attending a women's circle, reading about sacred sites, spontaneous bike rides, walking along the beach, or yin yoga. What nourishes you is your medicine. When you give yourself the medicine that you need to be nourished, you nourish all those around you, for there is more than enough to go around. Do something that deeply replenishes you today. I think for fire signs, this is going to be something that teaches you how to balance that replenishment with the action, because we also have the spring card here. The keywords, whoops. The keywords on the spring card are freedom, action, and power. She comes to touch the world into awakening again. Each cycle follows its course, and at her point on the cycle, the spirits of spring emerge and do their work. Each has their part to play, from fairy to the goddess who breathes life back into the world. When she comes to you, no matter what part of the external cycle you are on, inside it will be your spring. This is your renaissance. This is your time of jasmine and sweetness. This is the time to consider what it is you will grow. And you must hurry, dear one, to catch this energy which is coming to you, bursting up through the blood, through the cells and into the mind, where ideas will be born that will shape the world yet to come. You are a part of the next step on this planet, and you must make true and real within the world that world the ideas which now arise within you. For this spirit of spring is urging you to recreate a world anew, to initiate the ideas and to fill the promise of conception. You have work to do, dear one, a vocation to fulfill, and it is beyond that numbing plod of the slave machine that can be our culture. You have more to give than that. It is pushing through the limitations that seem to be all about you. You are free to make your life your garden, free to become what nature has destined you to be, free to make the wild life that forces within the paradigms would prefer to enslave for their purposes. The power of pure, fresh, sweet life is within you. Let it pour through you and rise up out of you. Take root in your soul and blossom through words and actions, choices and commitments. Do not hesitate. The time for action and growth is now. Touch your life as she does, for you are her and she is you, and once this is recognized, you can never be taken prisoner again. When I grow and act, I free not only myself, but all around me are freed in return. It's kind of interesting that this card had a very similar message of when you fill your cup, there's more of you to go around. There's more that you're able to share with the world. And then this one is saying that the power. It was also saying a message of like you have more to go around. When I grow and act, I free not only myself but all those around me. So for those with Jupiter, Neptune, and fire, I think like the work that you're doing, or how you're sharing your gifts in the world, how you're using this Neptune Jupiter conjunction to expand your dreams, to expand your growth, and imagination and subconscious energy, how you're going to put that out in the world is concerning to us all. This is not just affecting you, this is affecting the collective. And that might be the case for all of them. That's the point. That's like why we are having this big shift in energy. But it seems like for the fire signs, this is what you are doing is going to affect. But I think like you can't have both. You can't be affecting everyone around you and not taking care of yourself at the same time. Do not turn away from your path, nor from what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be, nor what logic may dictate, trust that your heart is telling you. You are safe and protected by spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all you need to manifest your authentic soul path. You have what it takes to connect with the light and live with the connection in practical ways which contribute positive energy to our human collective. What was I just saying? This is so crazy. Obadiah is the Latin basis for the word obedience. Far from conforming to authority, the original meaning was to listen, to hear, and to not turn away. The oracle of the Obadiah is about becoming a sacred rebel, giving up faith in the ways of the world and embracing the ways of the Spirit unconditionally. That means refusing to torture yourself with horror stories that society and your own mind conjure up from time to time. This guidance is encouraging you to connect through your heart with the spiritual light, wisdom, and guidance within. The oracle asks you to believe in the power of Spirit to show you the way through all troubles. There is a message from our loving universe for you. You will feel it in your own heart. You may consider yourself to be feisty, independent, strong person. That's certainly the fire energy. You may consider yourself to be feisty, independent, and strong person rather than one who is docile and surrendered in spirit. A vibrant, powerful personality may feel initial resistance or confusion when asked to become soft to the ways of the Spirit. Yet this sort of obedience is not about giving away your power or becoming someone you are not. When you are receptive to Spirit, we become more unique, not less. This oracle asks you to get out of your own way. Often we make things more difficult for ourselves, even when our intentions are good. This is because we see things from a limited or partial perspective. This doesn't mean we should refuse to act at all. It just means that as we practice sensing and following Spirit, by tuning into the heart, we will act from a more centered and wisely guided place. Our actions will more likely hit the mark when we flow with the greater wisdom of life. Far-reaching positive consequences awaken. Recognize that Spirit is wiser than your own personal opinion is the prelude to true awakening. The more awakened we are, the more genuine benefit for all beings can unfold through our endeavors. To be clear, the guidance of this oracle is not to hand over your power, nor to seek out Spirit to tell you what to do. It is always up to you to exercise your free will and to live your life as you choose. Sometimes the responsibility behind such freedom might seem too much, but this is our task as human beings. To our own freedom and to exercise it is the wisdom and delight. When you trust your courage more than you doubt, you will be ready to listen to Spirit and to act on what you perceive. You will be capable, willing, and ready to live as a light on this earth. You are also encouraged to ditch the drug of doubt. Doubt undermines your confidence and sends you on a mission to gain approval before making every decision. Approval can become the hit that alleviates doubt temporarily, but it prevents you from building the strength you need to listen to your own spiritual knowing. You have it within you to be spiritually sovereign. This oracle asks you to recognize your inner potential and to practice trusting yourself and your capacity to respond to life's unpredictable happenings with soul-honoring integrity. It's so interesting that both of these, the Chess Queen and the Obadiah, if I'm saying that correctly, is talking about like really connecting and listening to your spirit, like not letting any external forces or the need for approval or the pressure from society to be obedient and to obey and do the things that we're supposed to do. Those of you with Neptune and Jupiter in a fire sign are really being pushed to trust and not just do whatever everybody else tells you to do, which I think is actually kind of like really difficult for fire energy, because fire is that creativity and that passion, and they also have this desire to be recognized for it, especially the Leo. But I mean, Sagittarius and Aries too. Aries has that drive, and they want these ones are telling you fire to, which is very common for fire energy, is to get really burnt out and to be running on empty all the time. But you're being told to replenish that, figure out some sort of balance that like really fills your cup back up, so that, because you are supposed to, like, we need your fire in the world, we need your creativity, we need that spring energy that's going to start and push and change whatever this new collective energy is going to be. Like, fire is going to start it. So if your Jupiter or Neptune is in a fire sign, this is your collective reading to really figure out some sort of balance of filling your cup up and not draining it, and being able to use your fire sustainably, and to not worry about whatever anybody else is thinking, saying, or doing, or what you're supposed to do, and to really trust and strategize in that sense of figuring out how to balance all of that energy. The thing that strikes me the most about this oracle reading for those of you with Neptune and or Jupiter in a fire sign is that all of the figures in the images are either embracing themselves or have their hands out as if offering something. And I think that has to do with I think that's the clearest message of all of these cards, is that you need to be filling your cup first before filling others. And I think that's a really important message, because I think it's obvious that those of you with fire, Jupiter, and Neptune, you are supposed to be offering something to the world, but fire energy often depletes itself and burns out. So it's really important for you, in order to be offering your gifts to the world, in order to be healing other people, you have to be healing yourself first. So connect to your spiritual heart, figure out what really fills you up and what replenishes your body and your energetic system. And at that point, you're going to be in flow, in alignment, and be able to recognize the signs and messages from Spirit. If you're not seeing any signs, pay attention. And if you're still not seeing any signs, I think that means you need to shift and change direction, or rest and replenish. And then when you start seeing signs, that's when you know that you're going to be on track. So this could be repetitive numbers, animal spirit messages, colors, symbols, whatever is something that jumps out at you, that grabs your attention. Those are your messages and those are your signs. And that way you know that you're in alignment and you're on track. But I don't think that is going to be happening unless you fill your cup first and connect to your spiritual heart. The world Lord rules communication of all kinds and lets you know that positive interactions can be expected when he arrives as your ally. He only speaks with positive words and praises all he sees. He reminds you of the law of abundance and praise. When you bless the world, it blesses you back. When you say affirming, supportive words, they carry an energy that returns to you in physical form. Remember that each one has power and will. Remember that each word has power and will resonate into the universe, seeking its reflection in manifest form. Your body responds to praise, as does everything in the world around you. Praise it for its inherent health and beauty. Applaud yourself for everything you do, even the tiniest accomplishments are important. Praise your bills, give thanks for the services you enjoy, and watch the ability to pay them increase as you align with Spirit's increasing power. This is a big one. I know we're all probably financially struggling right now. Praise your bills. Give thanks for the services that you enjoy, and watch the ability to pay them increase as you align with Spirit's increasing power. This is also a time to remember the powerful practice of affirmations. Write them down and speak them aloud as a spiritual exercise every day. Say it is so, and it will be. It's a very auspicious sign when the Lord chooses to be your ally. So, first of all, those of you with Jupiter and Neptune in a water sign, be careful of what you're saying to yourself and saying to the people in your life. Happy Soul Pulse. If you ran out of cash after paying your bills and taking care of home, you are not broke, you are responsible. It's very true. Your biology and gender are creative and powerful means for you to express your soul path. Sometimes you may feel limited by gender constraints or stereotypes, but your spirit can never be restricted or controlled. Embrace the journey of what it feels like to be you in your own body. There is much benefit and healing to be gained through an embrace of your life journey, including the deeper experience of the absolute freedom of your spirit. Archon Barbello is an angel, goddess, divine mother, and sacred space. She is mysterious and powerful. She is the inviolable purity and truth of your being, the spiritual essence within you that is eternal and cannot be tainted or distorted. Her presence in a reading is a sign that any errors in judgment shall be corrected and any losses shall be restored. If you have been off your path or become disconnected from your real self, she is the innate understanding and power within your heart that pulls you back into authentic connection and true direction. Archon Barbello teaches the soul the mystery of how we can be in a male or female body and yet have characteristics of both the masculine and the feminine within us. She also helps us understand how androgynous spiritual essence can be and can embrace masculine and feminine energies to accomplish its higher purpose. This spiritual essence is beyond gender and is not altered by it in any way. It's kind of interesting that this is coming up for the water signs because your spirit hole is gaping wide open. Because water is fluid. There is really no definite to water. So it's interesting that this fluidity with gender is kind of coming up for this. When a connection to the sorry, I read that part. Every soul has a unique path, and yet every soul is here to find the way home to divine love and inner truth. The feminine energies in every soul empowers our ability to embrace what is and find compassion. This allows for mercy, forgiveness, and wisdom that start with what is and hold space for evolution into what it can be. The masculine energies in every soul encourage exploration, development, inquiry, stimulating us to question everything, which can lead to discernment or higher understanding and keep us strong. This ensures that negativities are banished from our personal space before they can undermine our personal healing and spiritual progress. Archon Barbello helps us fully experience the masculine and feminine principles as creative, intersecting, and powerful methods of expression rather than definitions of who we are. We are warriors grabbed heels and lipstick and said, "We got this." We are probably told to come in as embodied male again when we have about 20% of ascending, but if we came in as female, we'd have 80% chance. Interesting. and then like we chose that to have like the more difficult path for whatever reason. The value of the body, of gender and biology as ways for the soul to experience and express itself is complemented by the freedom that comes with understanding the spiritual part of you is entirely free from constructs of any kind. You can retreat to this sacred space, untouched place within you, when you need to replenish your reserves of wisdom and willpower for your life journey. Connecting with this part of you can remind you that whilst your life journey and your experiences are important and help you to grow, they do not determine who and what you are. You exist in the realm of Archon Barbello, the pure light of divine presence. Your spirit is always nestled beneath her radiant wings. Yet to shine that light in the world where it is most needed requires you to have a soul journey as a human being, in a physical body with biology and gender. If you have any concerns about this or wish to bring healing to those who have such concerns, this oracle brings encouragement. Ask for help and healing from Divine Spirit that all souls find truth in their journey, blessed with the mercy, wisdom, and grace of compassion. Well, yeah, that's it. We have both of them, and I think it's interesting that this card is asking you to go to that space where there is no gender. I mean, we all struggle with gender issues. Like as a woman, you feel like you don't want to have as many options. As a male, you might feel like you're not able to be emotional. So this card is asking you to like go to this space where there is no gender, where you are just a light being. You're a neutral, both and, to help find that peace and help find that balance. I think if we refer back to the word Lord too, I think this is another reminder of being careful about how you talk to yourself, what words you are using when you're talking about yourself and those around you. No, you're non-binary light being. The crumbling. This one reminds me of the Tower. So allowing things to crumble. What are you clinging to? There is a shift happening right now where anything inauthentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on shaky ground is destined to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and to society as a whole, so you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. When you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from the universe. Have faith, because difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. You are being called to surrender, to stop trying to hold it all together, and to loosen your grip. Let the crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first. In the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. Yeah, the whole ascension is about that. Yeah. What are you trying to hold together? What are you doing your best to avoid? How are you trying to pretend everything is okay? You have what it takes to allow what is falling away to tumble and fall. Once the tower has crumbled, you will be able to rebuild your home on solid ground and mighty foundations, in a view that is magnificent, that it will take your breath away each new morn. Kali, the goddess of destruction, and the Black Madonna are with you now. Lay it all on their altar. They can hold it all. What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? It's like we're all having a collective Saturn return. It does feel like that. Yep. I keep like coming back to this guy and feeling like there's something about the people with Jupiter and water. wait, Jupiter and Neptune and water signs are like, I think like not being honest, like with like pretending that things aren't crumbling, holding on to things because like you've convinced yourself that they are real and they are authentic, and just like the reason I feel like I need to point that out is because I think that when we're on this ascension process, we tell ourselves that, okay, I surrender, I'm ready, like, let's do this. But then oftentimes, and I'm speaking from like, I'm speaking of myself, I'm not saying anything about anybody here, is that I will find like the easy way to shift, change, or evolve because it's the most comfortable one and the easiest one. But it only gets you like halfway there because you didn't like push yourself to really like take that step. You took like a little baby step, and yeah, that was good and okay, and you're like, okay, I did it. But then did you really do it? So like I convinced myself that like, yeah, I took that step and it didn't happen, like why? But it's, if I'm honest with myself, it's because I didn't truly surrender. I didn't truly, so it's like, careful with the words that you're using, because like I am one who will convince myself that I did this thing, I took this step, I made the sacrifice, I surrendered, when really, if I'm honest, I didn't. Within the Avalonian realms are many entrances. This is also kind of interesting, Wake Up Fairy, because we met in a priestess class. Which, I mean, I think of priestesses of Avalon. That's like what my default goes to. So with the Avalonian realms are many entrances and gateways, and this one is that taken by the Lady of the Lake, when she must speak with the powers that be within the dominion of Camelot. For you, this indicates that you will soon be having important talks and conversations with those who are authority figures. You are the mystic in this situation, the one who has the spiritual perspective and the mission to share the mysteries with others. Those who you speak with are the administrators and the bureaucrats, the ones with the power that is recognized by the world. But you have the power of the spirit within you, and you are taking that pure spirit into the place that most needs it. So if you are working in a place where people are not connected with their intuition or their spirit, or if your family is one who denies the gift of the soul, you are the undercover agent, the one who enters that world to hold up the gift of the truth, the shining sword that is authenticity and integrity that cuts through the politics, the one who shares the gifts of the spirit, even in circumstances that seem to care nothing for the ways of the light worker. The lady can walk with you as you move through these realms, and you will know your work has meaning and your gifts have purpose, for the ripple effect of your actions, your words, and your presence will be felt for many years to come. I enter the world of the people to hold up the truth of spirit. Really like a lot to this one. Water, I think this is going to be, so like I was saying, the Neptune and Jupiter conjunction is happening in Pisces, which is a water sign. So I was kind of feeling like people with water energy, especially Pisces specifically, we're going to really be feeling the shift in a powerful way. And this feels like, I mean, water energy can be emotional and overwhelming, but I think that it is to your benefit that we have this like fluidity here, which is exactly like what we're moving into. We want things to be more fluid and not as structured and straight and rigid. We want things to be flow, because that's how we transform and that's how we change, by having things flow. And I keep coming back to this little word, Lord. It's hard to say. Lord. I'll call him the word dude. That's easier for me. Is by really using your words as power, because you're being asked to like be the authority and stand up and communicate this message, which isn't really comfortable for water energy. We usually think of water or fire energy being the ones that are advocating and yelling and screaming, whereas water isn't always the one that is the communicator. We also think of the air element as the communicator, but I think that for whatever reason, because of this Jupiter, Neptune, and Pisces, I think it's the water energy that is going to be the advocate. For those who have Neptune and Jupiter in a water sign, I feel like the biggest message here from looking at all of these oracle cards together is there is this doorway that you're needing to walk through. Almost all of the images here have a door on them or are kind of framed in the sense that we're looking through to this other side. And I feel like maybe it's because this conjunction is happening in the sign of Pisces, which is a water sign. I think that you all are going to be the first to walk through the door, to go through this transformation, to get to the other side. In the way that the hermit lights the way with his lantern, you might be going it alone, or being the first is kind of the message the overall message that I get. You're being asked to, and when we walk through doorways, you're being asked to leave what's behind you. So remember that we need to allow things that don't serve us to crumble, and to let go of the old things that don't serve us anymore. Be conscious of your words and positive self-talk. And that is a two-way street. That's a giving and receiving. The more positive things you put out there, the more positive things you're going to be put back there. And I think it's important to remember that so many of us we are collectively going through this transition, and to not pass judgment on other people, because when we're passing judgment on other people, it bounces back on us in a negative way. So if we just love and respect people for going through this time in the only way that they know how, in the best way that they know how, I think that the water signs are the ones that are going to be asked to do it more gracefully than the rest of us are. Because I think it's like this is your element. You understand this element. You understand this emotion and dreamy subconscious energy. So I think it's like you're already comfortable with it. You already understand it. You already know it. So that's why you're the first ones to be walking through the door and being the light and being the advocate and helping us through this transition, because it's in your sign and in your element and you understand it. I do think it's might be a little bit more powerful for you. So just remember to have grace for yourself and grace for other people as well. Remember that your words are your power, and hold true to that. Use your words to set your intentions during this time of walking through the door, surrendering. I'm ready to go through. I'm ready to walk through to the other side. I'm ready to get to that light and that color and that magic. Your words are your power. Set your intentions. Balance the duality within. And that doesn't necessarily have to be the balancing the masculine and feminine like we've talked about, but also balancing the good and the bad. When something triggers you, kind of balance that out and sit and recognize, okay, I understand, give yourself grace, give the other person grace, take a deep breath and just keep going. Like balance these polaristic energies, whether that's masculine, feminine, good, bad, angry, happy, whatever those things are for you. And this is your element. This is your time. You are the ones. You're the initiator. You are walking us through this doorway. So thank you. Okay, so we've already talked about this attitude of gratitude, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory for the Earth. The people with Jupiter and Neptune in an Earth sign, it's also similar to like another message that we were talking about earlier of just when we talk more positively to the word Lord, when we talk more positively to ourselves, it brings more positive stuff into our life. And when we're grateful for the things that we have, it brings more things that we are grateful for into our lives. Trusting the niggle, I guess I'll read from this one, but she describes the niggle as like this thing that's kind of like pushing and nudging you towards something. That niggling feeling, that annoying niggling feeling, that inconvenient, annoying niggling feeling. Try as you might, it's there, and it ain't going anywhere. Most people spend years ignoring their niggling feeling, throwing their best dollops of stubbornness, ego, and post-rationalization to numb them out. It's exhausting, and until you face that niggle, life just throws one more bait to awaken it, to draw your attention to the light within you that is bursting to come out. The niggle is an arrow pointing to what is standing in your way, the relationship, the conversation, the decision, the shift that needs to be made, and that stone in your shoe. Often we feel the niggling feeling in our body first. Most people think that intuition is something from the higher realms, but in fact it is the body that is the intuitive one, working through our senses to deliver vibrational information. Vibrational information. It takes just a moment every day to scan your body to receive the intuitive intelligence and act on it quickly. You are being called to face the niggle right now. If you don't face it, the universe will throw something much bigger and more obvious in your path, and then you will likely regret it that you didn't answer the niggle in the first place. I know it's scary, but you are safe. Answer the niggle now. What is your niggling feeling trying to tell you? The crows are after you. Let's see what the crows have to say. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping control and doubt. Have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into that which you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against that fluctuation of the external world. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. Here's another word I can't pronounce. So seeing those signs of the crows is an example of the niggle feeling. Basunda? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Basunda is the mysterious Hindu sage who assumes the form of a crow and lives atop the magical wish-fulfilling tree, thriving whether there be feast or famine in the world. As a highly evolved supernatural being, he has outlived the ending of numerous world ages. No calamity or cataclysm can shake the powerful divine tree or the creatures who live within its shelter. The sacred tree is a place of sanctuary and protection where no harm can befall any one of its inhabitants. The wish-fulfilling tree is a spiritual symbol for the soul of the heart and the divine bodhisattvas, or enlightened sages who guide and protect humanity. It represents a high level of consciousness which is abundant and in harmony with the universe and therefore blissful, free, and generous. This oracle reminds you that as you align with spirit, you are aligning with the powerful field of grace, which has protective and strengthening qualities. It is a spiritual tonic with effect in all dimensions and all realms of existence. The price for such sacred empowerment is the surrender of one's ego. This is a lifelong journey for most of us rather than a one-time event. We recondition our mind in the ways of spirit again and again. We disentangle our hearts from our societal conditioning based in fear, dominance, greed, victimization, and of getting one's personal desires met at any cost. We recognize there is a profound difference between taking and receiving. We trust in what is destined for us. Ivory is an organic material like bone, which makes up the tusks and teeth of numerous animals of land and sea. Tusks are used to brush away vegetation and obstacles to help an animal move through its environment. Therefore, one metaphysical correspondence of ivory is the ability to move through the inhospitable environments successfully. The message of the ivory wish-fulfilling crow is that one does not have to dominate or manipulate others to obtain success. It is enough to align with spirit and trust that your sacred inner work is sufficient to attract whatever is needed to manifest your higher purpose. You can attain what you seek by becoming and radiating rather than through contriving or manipulating. So the light dancer says, each of us is destined to find within us the light we see outside of ourselves. And with our five senses, we cannot see all that is. We cannot take in all that is truly within the world and the universe. But through reaching for the light that lies within us all, you have sought to become a more loving person. You have searched for the oneness and lost the sense of division. For moments there have been pure bliss, and when it has departed, you have been sad, as though you have failed. As a human being, you cannot perceive all that is and all that is time. But in the moments when the bliss and peace of the truth of our connection, the acceptance of our transitory oh my God. But in the moments when the bliss and peace of the truth of our connection, the acceptance of our why can't I fucking say it? Transitory. The acceptance of our transitory journey within and through our bodies, the alignment with values that respect and love the earth, where we find union with others like ourselves, we find ourselves dancing with the light. Life has an ease and flow to it, and we feel we could reach out a hand and touch the stars. This moment has come to you even if you have forgotten its power, and it is here to remind you again of the beauty in the heart and the soul, of the relationship you have to the infinite which lies within you and without you. The light dancer tenderly touches what she can see in the hidden spaces of the universe and within your heart. When she comes to you, it is to remind you that you too are a light dancer, a being of the infinite universe, and you are as grateful, as aware, and as tender as she is. I am evolving into an enlightened being, dancing with the light that dwells within me. I think the majority about this is trusting the niggle. recognizing the signs, like these are your signs, like recognizing that the light dancer, appreciating your gratitude, or being appreciative of the things that you have and expressing your gratitude. And the crow, like recognizing that you have seen these signs, that you have, and moving towards them and trusting that they are guiding you into the direction that you're supposed to be going. So those that have Neptune and or Jupiter in earth signs, I think you're just really being told to trust and recognize the signs, like pay attention, and acknowledge the signs. That's a really big one for me. I get that message a lot with other readings and stuff. So whenever I see signs that I know are a sign, I'm like, thank you. Like, thanks for the sign, and like feel into what that means. Like for example, if it's numbers, you want to like Google 333 angel number. Do we have any numbers here? We have 2, 24, and 39. So if there's any number that really jumps out at you, if it's a bird or an animal that jumps out at you, acknowledging when those things come into your life. For those with Neptune or Jupiter in an earth sign, I think the most profound message from this reading was that Spirit is really trying to communicate to you. Pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the signs, and have an attitude of gratitude. The more things that we are grateful for align us with the things that will make us grateful in the future. So I feel like you have this divine connection with Spirit during this time, and if you align with it, have that allowance, acceptance, and surrender, and just be appreciative of the things to come, I think you'll navigate through this time very well. You may have already noticed the signs, recognized it. You might be ready for it. The earth element grounds us and helps us stay stable during these transitionary times. That's how we stay rooted, and that's how we stay connected. So this might be kind of like a good flow for you. Pay attention to the signs. I can't say that enough. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the signs. And again, that can be repetitive numbers, animal spirits, just any colors or symbols that jump out at you and that grab your attention. So pay attention to the signs. Align with grace, surrender the ego, and find acceptance. And always, always, always have gratitude. Alrighty, so I guess we'll start with the Horse King because we haven't seen him before. He is number 42. The Horse King always comes to lend you the power to go the distance, forging ahead whatever the weather. You will most certainly reach your perfect destination with this noble ally. He lets you know that some person or circumstance brought through synchronicity will certainly appear to help you in your endeavors. You aren't meant to go this part of the journey alone. Interesting. This is also an important time to delegate authority to others so that they may assist you. Currently, you are magnetic to powerful people who are in a position to help make your dreams come true. The Horse King asks that you remain open to those who are sent to aid you. You can be assured that you will be lifted up and will ride high into victory. This is kind of cool energy. Air signs are getting help along this path. How fortunate. So the crumbling we talked about earlier with the water signs also. So this is like a very similar energy to the Tower card in the tarot deck. So this is speaking to not resisting the change, like allowing things to fall, saying goodbye to things that need to go, and moving forward and leaving things behind, disconnecting yourself from whatever energy isn't serving you anymore. It's like a hard and a difficult card to like work with, but once you get through it and once you get to that other side, like see how beautiful and colorful it is once you like walk through those doors. But it's difficult to sever those things. So if you're having difficulty like letting go of something, maybe calling on the Horse King, asking for help from your guides, asking for help from the humans in your life, because you're not meant to navigate this time on your own, which is very fortunate. I think this is the only signs that like that had help, or like physical help. And this is number 6. Shekinah. The spiritual worlds want to help you resolve your worldly concerns. You've got air signs are getting all the help today. It is safe for you to rely on spirit as a loving, protective, helpful, and practical presence able to positively affect all areas of your life, including facilitating the resolution of physical problems. Do not limit your spirituality to concepts. Instead, apply your higher knowledge and principles, grow your wisdom, and live your path. Acknowledge your value as a person, as a soul. Treasure the gift of your path and let your spirituality integrate with all facets of your life. Shekinah is a Hebrew word that translates as a dwelling place of the divine. Shekinah is the embodiment of the light. She is in us when we are living our spiritual path, applying our wisdom and principles to our actions, our courage, our choices awaken compassion in our world. We are the sacred change makers and the healers of the collective. The divine electricity of spirit needs willing soul bulbs, like as in light bulb, a soul bulb. In the esoteric Jewish tradition of the Kabbalah, Shekinah is the sacred feminine, the capacity for the experience of spirit entering the soul of a human being. When a soul is approaching the sacred experience of Shekinah, the ego has given way to some degree. There is enough inner space and heart willingness to surrender and receive so that spirit can infuse the soul. The soul becomes more luminous with white light. We resonate more with spirit than with the ego. We feel like our true selves. This oracle brings notice of an opportunity to apply your spiritual principles. You are encouraged to consider how you can live so that your inner beliefs and your outer actions are in alignment. This is not about denying the ego or its pains. It is about having compassion and responding from a place of kindness and determination to heal. The oracle also suggests a matter of material or physical concern can be touched and healed by spirit. Your task is to invite spirit in and allow it to do what it knows how to heal, or what it knows how to do. Find relief in the knowledge that spirit is with you and wants you to heal through all matters and concern. So again, you're being told to ask for help. And that's kind of fitting for air signs because Air signs are the wisdom and the knowledge signs, and they often have trouble admitting when they need help because they want to be right, they think they're right, and they know everything. So this might be the struggle for those with Jupiter and Neptune and air signs, because air signs don't like to ask for help. So keep that in mind. And you're being told to ask for the human help and also the spiritual help. There again are future prospects, decisions to make, and seeking guidance. So once we have sought to understand what would come to us in our lives, we turn to the seers and the wise ones who knew the uses of the sacred tools, who gazed into their depths and saw the patterns emerge that would apply to our lives. Now we are most often our own seer, or we entrust ourselves to the reader or the friend or the counselor who understands our psyches. But with this card, you are asked to trust that there is a cosmic seer, a seer of the hidden worlds, who is gazing into her crystal orb for you. Trust that she sees what will come and will whisper to you through dream and signs, the unfolding of the future. She will murmur to you in moments of peace, strange words so that you can do what you must be done in the present, so the future can be what it is meant to be for you. Some of what is to come is written. It is a part of the structure of our soul that certain events or people and possibilities will link with us and intertwine with our days. But there are other events that we create and we choose, and this is where she can help you. She asks you now to look deeply, to make choices that are in your own best interest, and to unravel some of the distance between yourself and spirit that has developed. Take up the precious tools once again, make a moment to see clearly, and know that the Ancient One, the Seer, is with you to help guide you into the future that is bright with prospects, rich with meanings, and give thanks for what is yet to come, and as the mystery shows herself, be ready. I see my future clearly, and I create it consciously with every choice I make in the present. So this is a little bit contradictory to what I just said about like air signs not knowing everything. And that is true because they are the wise ones, and we also don't see them as being the seers and the oracle, because their knowledge, at least in like mainstream society, knowledge is considered what comes from books and education, but the true essence of the air element is the spiritual connection, the spiritual wisdom, not just the here in this world wisdom. So this is asking air signs to open yourself up to divine guidance, to physical human guidance, and to connect to your spiritual gifts during this time, to expand and grow your dreams. You're probably going to have to be letting go from something, walking away from something, but just trusting that guidance and asking for that help when it feels difficult is going to get you through the Neptune and Jupiter conjunction. For those of you with air, Neptune, and Jupiter placements, I think the biggest message for you is to ask for help when you need it. This can be spiritual help or human help, people in your life help. If there aren't people that you feel like you can ask for help for, you can always ask for help from your guides and your angels. They are always there to help us. We just need to ask. You also had the crumbling message. So this is about letting go of something so that you can walk through that doorway and into that bright, beautiful, colorful world. I love that the image of the horse, and even the horse is like on the other side of a doorway. So like if you need help getting through that doorway, jump on the horse and allow him to take you there. Be willing to be a soul bulb was also a very bright message for this group. And I think that in the same sense that the water element was also the ones kind of like lighting the way, initiating us through this time. I think that the air signs will as well, because I think you have the ability to connect to the fact that there is a bigger picture. You're able to see that knowledge, understand that wisdom, that there is something better on the other side of it. So shine your light, be a soul bulb in the universe during this time, and we thank you so much for it, air signs.